right, so today we're reacting to The Black Cube Explained by J. Marvils. And let's go.
Let's get it.
Okay. Should I make this a little smaller? It's okay.
Jesus left the temple and was walking away when his disciples came up to him to call his attention to his buildings. "Do you see these things?" he asked. "Truly I tell you, not one stone here will be left on another. Everyone will be thrown down." As Jesus was sitting on the Mount of Olives, the disciples came to him privately. "Tell us," they said, "when will this happen? And what will be the sign of your coming and at the end of age?" Jesus answered, "Watch out that no one deceives you, for many will come in my name, claiming I am the Messiah, and will deceive many.
When I took on all the power that I am, and remember that I'm God."
You will hear of wars and rumors of wars, but see to it that you are not alarmed. Such things must happen, but the end is still to come. Nations will rise against nations, and kingdom against kingdom. There will be famines and earthquakes in various places. All of these are the beginning of birth pains.
Right now, I guess.
Then you will be handed over to be prosecuted and put to death, and you will be hated by all nations because of me. At that time, many will turn away from the faith and will betray and hate each other.
It's already happening.
Yeah, because I said fuck Christianity, fuck the church. I said that.
And many false prophets will appear and deceive many people. Because of the increase of wickedness, the love of most will grow cold. But the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom will be preached in the whole world as a testimony to all nations. And then the end will come. Alright, peace, y'all. Peace. In this video, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there first and foremost. Alright, so this video is gonna be a little bit eye-opening for some of you. Okay,
See how like LeBron's always the
I'm gonna break down the
Jordan
aspect of Saturn worship. Okay,
It's kind of weird.
since the beginning of time. All right, so if you guys agree with me or disagree with me, that's fine. But I'm gonna be breaking down some valid points here. I was doing a lot of digging for the past few days, and I just felt that I should share this with y'all. All right, so we're gonna be talking about Saturnalia. Saturnalia and its practice since the beginning of time, you know, and how it coincides with the industry and a lot of these religions nowadays, okay, and how mankind has been deceived, all right. You know, I'll be honest with y'all, you know, a lot of us are still trying to figure this out, but
So the one picture he showed from Eyes Wide Shut, it's a huge iceberg. It's one of the biggest conspiracies. It's because Stanley Kubrick was killed when before the movie was finished because they found out what he was doing, and Stanley Kubrick is the guy that made The Shining, and Stanley Kubrick is also the guy that they say faked the moon missions for NASA. Everyone says, like, if anyone faked the moon missions, if they got any director and he was buddy, like, there's pictures of him with, like, the heads of NASA and stuff like that, and they were in, like, the Hollywood studios, and he's with them, right? It's like, what are they doing there? But everyone thinks he faked the moon landings for them, and then they ended up killing him because he was trying to convey The Secret through his movies, and everyone thinks The Shining is an example of him begging to tell the audience, like, if you look kind of through it or at it, it's like in The Shining he's really trying to show us that we never went to the moon by, like, I don't know. Did you ever see The Shining?
No.
With it's Stephen King movie?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll get into that another time, but The Eyes Wide Shut, it was a movie about secret societies and stuff, and he got killed before he finished making it. And then the movie that got released was heavily edited, and they took out a lot of the stuff that he wanted to show the audience about how it was about Hollywood secret societies, and you know what I mean. That's what it was about, and that's why they think they took him out. If you watch that movie, bro, it's 10 out of 10. It is so good. You gotta watch it. Okay, but okay. So, anyways, back to this.
You know, the deeper we look into certain things, we may come up with an answer behind all of this. All right. So Saturn worship derives from basically Saturnalia. Okay, Saturnalia is a festival that derives from the Roman Catholic. Okay, the days range from December 17th all the way into the 23rd of December. Okay, so that's a 7-day time span. Also, I want y'all to remember, I'm going to be saying the number 7 a lot in this video, so I want y'all to pay very close attention to it, to the connection with the number 7, okay? But Saturnalia is a festival that the Roman Catholic practice that's dedicated to the sun child. On this day, they would make sacrifices, human sacrifices, and party and drink and gamble and do all kind of vile and disgusting acts on this day. But the pagans worship this time of year. Okay, so from the 17th to the 23rd, this is all pagan Saturn stuff. All right.
I remember about that.
Hey, the people at Discovery Channel came to me and asked me to do the impossible. Go undercover and show...
Oh, God.
It's also dedicated to the god Cronus. Okay, so if you a witch out there, this would be your time to practice.
I was just gonna say, as far as rituals and stuff like that go, you know, the elites and everything, they say they don't do them and it's stupid and like witches aren't real, but it's like, you know,
they're real, bro.
Yeah, like it, you know, did they just stop doing them because they did them all the way up to like 100 years ago? You know, why did they just stop? They just started doing it in secret. Like if you got family rituals that you've been doing, right, like you're still gonna do them. You're just not gonna tell anyone, I guess. Exactly. I don't know, but I mean. People practiced all kinds of stuff up until like 150, 200 years ago. Everyone was just like, did all sorts of crazy shit before science and all that, you know? So why would they just stop? It doesn't make any sense.
Practice or your time of year or worship is the 17th until the 23rd, and your god is Cronus. All right, this is who you're supposed to worship. If you don't worship Cronus, then you're not really, you know what I'm saying, you're not really practicing it. If you get what I'm saying. So you can't leave that aspect out of it, all right?
So Kronos is the father of Zeus, head of the Titans, god of time, consumed his own children when it was prophesied that one would overtake him. Wow. That was the god of from the Romans or whatever. They worship this dude.
How can you worship somebody who eats his own children?
When it was prophesied that one would overtake him, yeah.
I would just kill him.
It's a lizard.
So out there in the Vatican, every year they do a celebration paying homage to this sun child. Okay, and as y'all can see here, this monument that they have right here at St. Peter's Square, all right, is held up by 2 Egyptian obelisks. Okay, So at the very bottom, the base of this is Osiris's phallus. All right, and then it's backed by the Greek goddess Ishtar's star, which is the Eastern star. Okay, which represents fertility. All right, so now if you have the phallus in the egg, that gives birth to this sun child, okay, which is depicted here as the crucifix, all right, which is supposed to represent the baby Jesus, but that is a lie, okay, that's a lie. These people are evil people. This is all hidden stuff of the occult, all right? So I'm going to break this down and why I feel that a lot of these religions are misconception, all right? So yeah, it's sent up here to represent this baby Jesus here. Now, I want to point something out to y'all. Now, if we're going to say that these people are Christian, right? Why would they have this imagery here? Okay, this ancient Greek imagery of Osiris's phallus, okay, underneath Ishtar's egg, all right, which is giving birth to baby Jesus. Okay, now this is hidden in plain sight, which most people don't pay attention. All of these people are Catholic or Christian, which think they worshiping Jesus. Okay, but this is all hidden. Okay, this is hidden from the public's eye. All right, it's sick what these people are doing. You know what I mean? But this is reality of it. All right. All right. So when we look at this this crucifix on the top, and it represents the sun child. Most people think that this is a representation of Jesus Christ, but it's actually a representation of the god Mithra. Okay, so Mithra is also Saul. Some people call it Saul, which comes from Greek, ancient Greek, is which Saul is another representation of the sun. Okay, the sun is Saul basically. All right, but this all of this stuff comes from Zoroastrianism. Okay. Zoroastrianism is one of the oldest religions of mankind, all right, and this religion specifically practiced in duality and sacrifices, human sacrifices, okay. So a lot of this concept that the Bible has of heaven and hell, good and evil, that comes from Zoroastrianism, okay. But we're gonna get into the story of Mithra. All right, real quick. All right, so Mithra was said to have been the child of the sun. All right, born on December 25th. All right, his day of the week was also Sunday. Okay, and to pay homage to Mithra, every Sunday they would drink wine and eat bread. Okay, and supposedly he died for the sins of man. All right, so that sounds similar to the same story of Jesus Christ, if you ask me. Okay, and mind you, Mithra was long before Jesus came into the picture. All right, Christianity came 2,000 years later, but this guy Mithra was here before that. All right. So we know that that's all duplication right there, right? We see that that's being duplicated, all right? And Mithra was also into human sacrifices. He did a lot of evil things. It's not too much out there on him because, of the time of history, they didn't really keep up with that knowledge. And it's only, I believe, only like 300,000 Zoroastrians out there. So it's not really that many of them, okay? But yeah, this place here, this is this monument here is a depiction of Osiris, Ishtar, okay, and Mithra, okay. So this is all showing you that this is fake knowledge here. This is all fake knowledge. But why? What I want to point out is why would this stuff be here at a Catholic convention? Okay, if these people are Catholic and Christian, all right, why would this be here? Okay, you guys got to be very careful of the stuff that you bring into yourself. All right, that's why I said. All right, so now this monument is placed at St. Peter's Square. Okay, St. Peter's Square out there in the Vatican in Rome. All right, and if we look at it from a bird's eye view, it resembles a keyhole. Okay, the same keyhole that is on the secret key of.
So I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I made $49,000 in the last 30 days copying and pasting. Luckily, you don't have
Solomon. Okay, this
You know what I'm gonna have to do is get a YouTube subscription, and then those ads don't pop up. I guess that's what everyone does.
But we need subscribers first, though.
You gotta, huh?
We need subscribers for that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
the sigil right here is hidden from
Like
public.
and
Okay,
subscribe,
they
and
don't
vote.
show this to the
Get rid of
people.
the-
All right, this is the real key that they show to the public. This
commercials.
6-pointed star right here. All right. When we look at this 6-pointed star, we see this in a lot of things like Judaism. You know, a lot of things. It's a hexagram. All right, but the same hexagram is the key of Solomon, okay, and also the King David, or whatever you want to call it. But
Gangsters disciples.
that's the key that's shown to the public, okay. So then here, I want to talk about Saint Peter. Also, they worship Saint Peter. Now, Saint Peter, this is what a lot of people get confused, right? Is that when they see St. Peter's cross, they assume that this is in connection with the Antichrist, all right? You see this a lot in the industry, but this is actually paying homage to these individuals here, okay? This is paying homage to these individuals here, okay? But this cross has a meaning behind it. So they when they crucified St. Peter, right? They crucified him upside down, okay? And he was one of Jesus's disciples, okay? I don't really know the story on him or what he was about, but he was one of Jesus' disciples, and they crucified him after Jesus, all right? So you see this a lot, and it represents the Antichrist, but that's to cause the confusion in man, okay? To make the person not look deep into what's going on with this crap, all right? So we know that this cross right here, if you look, if this is being shown to you on television, right, and you see this on TV, you're going to assume that this has to deal with the devil and not want to look into it, right? But this actually represents Saint Peter, okay? But the Satanists took this cross and used it for their own good, okay, to go against what Jesus was about, all right? So we got to be careful with a lot of this stuff, man. We got to be careful with a lot of this, man. Also, I want to point out too that the 6-point star, okay, that I showed y'all earlier, right, also connects to Saturn, all right, with the atom symbol, okay. So you see this atom symbol here. It's got the same frame and coordinates as the 6-point star, okay? But I'm going to break it down and how it correlates with Saturn and everything. I'm going to talk about how that goes hand in hand too. All right, but I want to point something else out that's very intricate in what these evil reptilians do, okay? So now here, all right, so we want to talk about this right here, okay? So this is actually Paul VI audience hall, okay? This is where the Pope goes and speaks to the people for about this sun child, okay, that they worship, all right? But there's a sick meaning behind this place here, okay? There's a very sick meaning behind it. Inside of this place here, okay, there is one window on each side, but what you can actually see, visually see.
Sorry, because I know what Eddie Bravo exposed this on Joe Rogan, and it's like it's just the most satanic stuff, and it's in this hall in the Vatican, and if you look at it from the outside, like it looks like a snake's head, and it's like, why would they build something like that? It just doesn't make sense, and like worship in this. Hopefully he'll show it all.
Is the Pope sitting in the middle of a snake's mouth, okay?
That's how it looks.
So now when we see this, right?
Yeah.
We see this. Okay, do you see the two eyes on each side in the snake's mouth? Okay. All right. This is a representation of the serpent. All right, the serpent. Okay. So when we see this, we know that these people have hidden agendas. Okay, and
it's like, this snake's the one that destroyed Adam and Eve and all that. And it's like this snake's the devil all the time in the Bible. So why the hell would they make this? It doesn't make any sense. This is like in Rome, in the Vatican. And yeah, the Pope goes there to talk and stuff. Like, what? And then you should see they got a depiction of Jesus in there. He'll probably get into it, I'm sure. Of like in hell, it's so weird.
You know, all of this stuff right here is in plain sight, but the average person doesn't notice this. Okay, they don't notice that this is going on. All right. Also, the Pope is sitting in front of a depiction of Jesus Christ rising from the abyss. Okay, this is what I'm saying about these people, man. It's sick how they do this. Okay, and mimic these things and put. Now, what I want to put out there is this, y'all. These are the same people, all right, that enforce slavery. All right, these people enforce slavery. These were the people that invented this crap. All right. So when they created these books and this type of knowledge that supposedly nobody knew about, okay, this is messed up here. All right, they flipping it on you. All right, they distracting you from what they're really doing. Okay, which is worshiping Saturn behind closed doors, and they're giving you this mess. All right, for you to think that this is okay to do, and this is what's keeping you entrapped, enslaved. All right, so when you say that these so
On March 9th, 2022, our Commander-in-Chief signed an executive order that aims to give Washington
so-called individuals or these deities have this energy that can help you or save you, it's a lie. It's a lie because they worship this God. Okay? They worship this God right here. All right? So when we see this, we know that they are using this stuff against us.
Oh, yeah,
all right?
the
They're using this stuff against us. Okay? To deceive the public. All right? The whole objective of this is to keep you enslaved. All right? Don't always remember the war is against you. They're not with you. They're always going to be against you. All right? What better more than to keep black people enslaved than to keep their own enslaved as well, okay? To have the whole world in their hands, all right? This is the reason why they do these things, okay?
I hate watching shit like
it's
this
sick.
with someone from
Now,
Africa, that's for sure.
I'm going to talk about this crucifix at the top of this monument also, okay? This crucifix at the top actually, and some of y'all ask me, yo, Jay, why you wear ankh? Why you wear ankh, all right? This actually comes from the crux.
Ankh is like the covenant or something?
Nah, you know the cross with like cross is like a normal cross, right?
Okay, yeah.
The ankh has like a circle on top of it instead of
the egg thing.
Exactly.
But what is it? Alexa, what's an ankh in Christianity?
It's not Christian.
It's Catholic?
No, ancient Egyptians used to believe in it.
ANKH or whatever, right?
ANC.
Oh, really? Maybe he explains it.
Yeah.
I know it's a big deal though or something.
ANKH, yeah.
KH or something.
The crux ansata, okay? This is the original cross. All right, that was that mankind had found. This is a symbol. It actually represents life, protection,
I
fertility,
see that all the time,
vitality, all high positive vibrational things. Okay, so when you talk about the Ankh is ancient Egyptian, it's evil. You guys got to do your history on that because you're not well informed. Okay, so but it was turned into once these people got a hold of this image, right? It was turned into the Tau. Okay, the letter T represents the Tau. Okay, and then from the Tau, okay, it came into this cross, which is called the crucifix. All right. So the crucifix is actually a representation of these Roman Catholic people here. Okay, so when you see that cross,
just one thing about it is kind of strange, just that on one hand it's like Jesus died on the cross, but it's kind of screwed up how if my dad died on a cross, I wouldn't be wearing a cross everywhere. Do you know what I'm saying though? It's why? Look at him with that cross. Isn't that kind of praising the cross that killed him?
But Yeah, you can't question it because you grew up with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like exactly. But they used to go around like this was the Crusader, and they used to go around killing people in the name of Jesus and stuff. If they wouldn't like turn into Christians, they'd go around killing people too. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do it for the Lord.
Yeah. In the name of the Lord. Okay, here we go.
Horse that was at the top up there, right? You think that represents life and Jesus and all of that? No, that represents Mithra, okay? That's a representation of Mithra. I told y'all this, all right? So when we take that actual crucifix, right, and we lay it out flat and fold it into a 3-dimensional form, okay, it actually turns into the box of Saturn, okay? The box of Saturn. Now, a lot of y'all see this box, right? It's pretty much everywhere in TVs and shows. Hell, Roddy Ricch even made a song about it, right? The box, right? We see the box everywhere. Everyone talks about this box, right?
I remember
this box is actually a representation of Saturn worship, okay? So when you see this box, or when you hear people talking about the box and all of that stuff, that's all satanic, okay? So this is why when you hear that song with Roddy Ricch, he's making those weird noises in the beginning, all of that stuff, because he's conjuring spirits, all right? These are the weird noises that they're hearing on Saturn, okay? So I'm gonna break down the connection to the Saturn box and Satan worship, okay, and how it's been depicted in all sorts of religions, even in the media. All right, we're gonna talk about it though. All right, so in 1981, right, NASA had went on a Voyager probe to Saturn. All right, and I know y'all gonna say, yo, Jay, NASA is full of crap. I know it's media. I know, but you still got to pay attention to these things because the simple fact is that they use that to communicate to their own, okay? So it'll go over the human's eye, the most, person's eye for that specific reason, okay? But in 1981, NASA went on a Voyager probe to Saturn where they heard some strange sounds, okay? And then they found this hexagon shape at the top and bottom of Saturn. All right, which they call the vortex. Y'all see that 6-point star again? All right, this is the 6-point star that I was telling y'all about.
No one's ever
that was surrounded by the Mother Mary's head. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Like it's sick, man. This is what they doing though. This is what they doing. All right. So when we see this 6-point star here, we see that there's a connection with the key, the key of Solomon. All right, which is also depicted here on top of Saturn. Okay,
when he goes up there,
it's unbelievable, man. All right, this is what they're doing behind closed doors, but they're feeding the public, okay, Christianity and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Catholicism and Christianity. These people are doing, foul things behind closed doors. All right. So we're gonna talk about it. The connection this Saturn worship has. All right, and all of this connection to it. All right. So the first religion known to mankind, right, was Hinduism.
Sorry. Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, even the quantum computer that like Google uses and that they sell out of Canada is just a big black box too, which is scary. Because they say just even a small quantum computer takes so much resources when it calculates something that there's nowhere near enough resources in our entire universe for it to do it. Computate this so fast and everything that the only way it can do it, they think, is that it taps into other dimensions and uses the resources from those dimensions to help it, because there's no other way they can explain it. Yeah, it's crazy. The guy that built it, Geordie Shore, he's a guy from BC, and he's the owner of it, and they sold it to Google for $20 million for one, and he says like that's the only way I can describe it. You know what I mean? He doesn't know. They have no, yeah. which is
own product
which
outsmarted him.
which could even bring in like a demon or something if it's tapping into other, because they always say like the devil's gonna come out of a box or something like that. I don't know, but whatever.
All right. Any other religion follows basically that doctrine.
Oh, sorry, and that's true too. Like before Jesus, like man, they had like 1 million religions, right?
Yeah.
Like 1 million worshiping all
Even in
sorts of
India
shit.
Right now, they have more than 300.
Do they? Oh my
More than
god!
300 religions, bro.
No, they keep them separated like that because India's gonna like overtake China for people and.
Yeah, man.
Oh, this world, this gosh darn world. Okay.
Right, but in Hinduism, they also practice Saturn worship with the god Shani. Okay, the god Shani represents the child of the sun. Okay, so you see that there's the child of the sun. There's a connection to that cross at the top of that thing. All right, so it's all connected there. All right, so you see this, right? The same dialect as Saul or Jesus. All right, it's the same thing. Also, I want to point this out to black people, man. I'm speaking to black people directly. If you look at this chart right here, right?
He said, "I want to speak to black people, man. I want to speak to black people directly." But I'm not offended. Okay. Oh, is that way back?
You see that there's a connection depicted here. It's unbelievable, man. This is what they're doing behind that. You know what I'm saying? It's behind, man, behind closed doors. All right. So we're gonna talk about it. The connection this Saturn worship has. All right, and all of this connection to it. All right. So the first religion known to mankind, right, was Hinduism. All right. Any other religion follows basically that doctrine.
Hinduism.
All right. But in Hinduism, they also practice Saturn worship with the god Shani. Okay, the god Shani represents the child of the sun. Okay, so you see that there's the child of the sun, is the connection to that cross Saturn at the top of that thing. All right, so it's all connected there. All right, so you see this, right? The same dialect as Saul or Jesus. All right, it's the same thing. Also, I want to point this out to black people, man. I'm speaking to black people directly. If you look at this chart right here, right? None of this has anything to do with us. All right? You have Hinduism.
It's true.
Okay, that's the Indians. All right? You have Judaism. That's the Jews. Okay? You have Zoroastrianism. That's the Jews and the Indians. You have Buddhism. That's the Asian. You have Confucianism. That's come on. Shall I go on? None of this stuff has anything to do with black.
But you know, like Rastafarian, where it came from, right?
From Jamaica.
Nah.
No? Where did it come from?
Oh yeah, it came from Jamaica. It was originated in there, but you know who they worship, right?
No, I have no idea.
Bro, it's Ethiopian emperor named Haile Selassie.
Okay, why?
Because
why would Jamaicans worship that guy?
I don't know. They think he's
holy. Oh, so that's like the Jesus of Rastafarism.
Exactly.
I gotta look into that one day because I didn't know what the hell they worshipped.
We're gonna react to video.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. Okay.
I better not tell you more.
I was a Rastafari. I want to be one. No, I don't. I smoke weed. It's legal in Canada. So
yeah, it's legal over here.
And it's better than getting wasted on booze.
Exactly.
All right, here we go.
Black society, all right? There's no African roots in any of this stuff, all right? None of it. None of it. I don't care what anybody says. There's no African roots in any of this stuff here. All right, so also Judaism also worships Saturn, okay? With the Teflon, all right?
See,
the Teflon is basically a black box, right?
What the hell is that?
That people in Judaism use, okay? They put scriptures in this black box, all right? And they wrap this band around their arm 7 times. Remember I said that number 7, right? Pay attention to that. That's going to be very detrimental, okay? That number 7. So they wrap this band around their arm 7 times, all right? And they pray for a certain amount of hours, all right, in the morning, All right, and this is what they do. This is their belief system. Okay, they believe this black box to be a direct command from God brought by Moses. Okay, so any other shape that they use or try to do this with, if they use a circle, it's not godly. Okay, so it has to be this black box here. All right, now I'm gonna break down the black box too. Okay, this whole black box situation. Let me get into it. All right. Also, the Muslims also have a connection to this black box. Also, once a year. All right, where they take the Hajj, and they circle around this Kaaba. All right, 7 times. Okay, just like that Teflon in Judaism, okay, that's 7 times, okay, this black box and the 7 times, okay, so keep that in mind, all right, and the circular motion, okay, the circular motion, how the Judaism have to tie it around their arm in a circular motion 7 times, okay, and the Muslims have to walk around this Kaaba 7 times in a circular motion. If we look at the vortex that was on Saturn, okay, that rotated in a circular motion, okay? Shit. And that circle is going around. It's going around. Right. All right. So now if you look at a hexagon, I'm gonna break this whole black box theory down. Now, if you look at a hexagon, right, it has 6 sides, all right, which in geometry can resemble a cube, all right. A cube ultimately has 6 sides in total. All right, when looking at it from a 3D standpoint, it could be viewed as a 6-pointed star. Okay, so if you do it in the 3D aspect, it'll still amount to a 6-point star. All right, and also if you unfold a cube out of a 3-dimensional form, it breaks down into a crucifix. Okay, so we see here the connection it has there. All right. So now we know that all of this stuff is connected. The 6-pointed star, okay, the black box, okay, and Saturn worship. All right, it's all going hand in hand. All right. Now, the United Nations also prays to Saturn. Okay, with this meditation room. Now they have a room inside of the United Nations. Where you have to be 25 years of age to go into this building. Anybody can go, you know what I'm saying? But you have to be 25 years of age to go into this building. Crazy, and they have a meditation room where this black box is in the center of the room, okay? With this light shining directly over this box, all right? This is to represent the God of all religions. That's what they call this box inside of the building of the United Nations, the God of all religions. All right, so there's a connection with that, and like it's crazy how they doing this. All right, so when we see this black box everywhere. We know that this is all Saturn worship. Okay, we know that this is all Saturn worship. All right, even in the tarot cards, some of y'all out there, the tarot cards, right? You know the devil card. The devil is actually sitting on the black cube. All right. Some people out there into Aleister Crowley's symbol, the Thelema symbol, okay, is actually the sigil of Saturn. All right. So George Washington also was seen on a black box, the same black box that Baphomet sits on. All right. We see that all of this Saturn worship is heavily influenced, okay, throughout the industry, okay, throughout religion, throughout time, okay? Every time, there's always been a connection to Saturn. Now, some of you may say, Jay, what is the reason? Why? Why Saturn? To be quite honest with you, nobody truly knows, okay? I have a clear understanding of how God is, all right? We have to know that this is a demonic and evil practice, okay? Saturn worship is evil. And we also have to realize that God does exist, okay? It is said that when it rains on Saturn, okay, it rains diamonds, all right? Now, just think of the concept of how when it rains diamonds on Saturn. Okay, people on Earth are selling their soul literally for diamonds. Okay, to have diamonds. People are selling their souls to have diamonds. Okay, where their soul may reside on this planet. All right. And now, when it's raining diamonds, okay, which means nothing over there. It literally means diamonds mean nothing on Saturn, okay? If it's raining and your soul resides on Saturn, can you imagine the pain that you would feel, okay? I'm not talking about it in the physical realm, but I'm just saying, when it rains diamonds, okay? When you sell your soul for this stuff, all right, it has no value. In the spiritual realm, it has no value, okay? So this is what it's just showing you, all right? So when you guys doing this stuff, like I said, you thinking that you're going to get into this industry and say, no, you're not, all right? There's a deeper meaning behind all of this, all right? Also, I want to explain the winter solstice, okay? Some of you don't really understand what a winter solstice is and why there's such a dark energy around this time. Simply, it's the same as when flowers don't bloom or die off. Okay, it's the same concept. A winter solstice is when the sun is actually sleeping or taking a rest, as some would say. Okay, rejuvenating itself for the springtime. All right. So when you see it's real gloomy and cloudy around this time of year. All right, it's that representation of the winter solstice. This is why a lot of deaths are seen done. There's a lot of deaths done, a lot of people dying, a lot of sacrifices. Okay, Saturn worship. All of this stuff is paid to this energy here. All right, so when we see this, yes, it's very satanic. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's very demonic and satanic. Now, some of y'all may say, okay, maybe I should get into Saturn worship. I'm going to just let y'all know this now. Saturn worship is a very dark energy, okay? This is why people go crazy. If you start messing with that stuff, you're going to lose your train of thought. You're going to lose your mind. You know what I'm saying? You might kill yourself. I read a book on Saturn worship one time, right? And I just say I went through a very depressing time in my life, and I couldn't understand why. And when I don't know, some maybe gods were speaking to me and told me, get rid of that book. And once I got rid of the book, everything went back to normal, all right? So you guys got to be very careful out there, man, like messing with this stuff and thinking that this is cool, all right? So I hope I broke this down and discussed it in a...
Sorry, guys.
Respectable manner, all right? But I hope everybody out there stays safe and peace.
All right.
Peace to you, brother.
Peace. What? That's crazy, hey?
Yes. I'm trying to question everything.
I know, man. I know.
Oh, no.
I know. It's just... I think with everything that just, JFK, the moon landing, all that stuff, like, I think if they have deceived you once with any one of those major things, 9/11, then they're probably deceiving you about everything else. And there's a lot of proof that, like, I mean, with the JFK thing or 9/11, it's like if they have deceived you on some big stuff like that, then I mean they think you're just the dumbest person ever, probably. You know what I mean? They just look down and they don't give a shit about you. That's why they get into wars and stuff. They don't put their kids in the war.
And the Pope is like in the what's his name? What's the list?
Huh?
The list, the pedophile.
Oh,
What's
Jesus!
Ghislaine
Maxwell.
What's the guy name? The other one?
Epstein. Yeah.
He's in the Epstein list too.
The Pope.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. But the thing I hate about the church the most is they're so hypocritical because like they got enough gold and jewelry and crap. No, not crap, but antiques, all that stuff in the Vatican that like. They could cure world hunger easily, and they don't. So it's just like, I mean, it's so just hypocritical. But yeah, okay, well, Papito's saying goodbye.
Yeah.
And, oh, that was a long video.
It was.
35 minutes. Wow. Okay, sorry for the commercials. And if you made it this far, please like and subscribe, and we'll...
Leave a comment down below.
Yeah, and leave some comments.
What we should
react to.
react to.
What we should react to. All right, bye.